All right, and what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another awesome edition of BB Nation Radio. Coming at you live from the Cowboy Technology Studios right here at the end of the Oregon Trail here in Oregon City, Oregon. As always, I'm your host, J-Dub, and with me in studio are my co-hosts. First off, we have the sexy girlfriend, Miss Mariah.
Oh, sexy girlfriend!
Oh, girl, you're so basic. Say you're basic, say you're easy.
And for once, actually hanging out with us in studio and not on a remote, the dapper sapper himself, my good buddy, my fellow U.S. Army veteran, and our outdoor expert, Mr. John Toll.
Here's Johnny.
The show can wait. I need to look pretty.
If you caught last week's show. And as always, the man, the myth, the legend, behind the scenes, our producer, the high-tech redneck himself, good old John.
The high-tech redneck.
So please remember to share our Facebook page with your friends over there at facebook.com/backwoodsvets, and be sure to check out our official page over at backwoodsvets.com. And don't forget to subscribe right here to our YouTube channel, right here at Backwoods Veterans Media. Be sure you click the subscribe button and hit that little bell icon so that way you get alerts whenever we go ahead and come up with new content that you can catch nowhere else but right here on our YouTube channel, as well as when we go live on the air right here on BB Nation Radio.
Call!
Uh-oh. Well, we'll get to that here in a second, but glad to see he's here at least. More on that here in a minute. So also want to give a big shout out to our friends and our sponsors over there at Eric's Armory and ericsarmory.com for all your shooting, reloading, and tactical needs, whether it be shopping in their store up in Sandy, Oregon, or shopping online. Be sure to hit up our friends up at Eric's Armory and ericsarmory.com. Be sure to check out all the fine entertainment that we have to offer here on Backwoods Veterans Media, again, by checking out our homepage at backwoodsvets.com. And also, we have a big event coming up, last I checked, and that is on... Josh is playing with lights again. Messing me up, man. Screw up my rotation. Anyhow, so again, we have one event coming up on the calendar, and that is Saturday, May 23rd, out there at the Beaver Creek Saloon. And where is that, Sean?
On Beaver Creek Road in Beaver Creek, Oregon.
Oh, okay, got you. Just making sure that you knew where it was at. And this year, we are helping benefit our friends over there at the Fallen Outdoors. So again, that's Saturday, May 23rd, 2020. We got a lot of great giveaways going on out there. It's going to be a fun concert. We have our friends from December. They're going to be coming out and playing, as well as our good buddies Kyle Tonight and Tim Neff and company with Sinners Like Us, and more to announce here later on. We are also in the works of one awesome badass 308 build that is in the works. And John will be talking about more about that here in the outdoor segment coming up. And that one is being brought to us by our friends over there at Aero Precision, 6 Hour, and many more to come. So it's going to be awesome.
Well, Eric's Armory, too.
Well, yes, Eric's Armory. Naturally.
Naturally.
So with that being said, yeah. So let's go ahead and hit into our roundtable right quick. John.
Yo,
nice to see you in the studio for once, brother.
Yeah, buddy. So it's been a week. Just getting. My life is dictated by work right now, and gathering lots of things for G4S. Like that is a whole second job at the moment. So, and then we got to go to Eric's Armory on Saturday and see the build kit firsthand, and Brian and Nick, if you ever get to watch our show, I thank you from the bottom of my heart and from all of my partner's heart. Like, that kit is amazing. Thank you very much. So, with that, I mean, that's pretty much how my week has been. It's been kind of an up and up week. Oh, and the sling is off, finally.
Yay for no more sling for John.
No more sling. I can start going to the gym and actually, like, getting back in
strengthening it back up.
And losing the 12 plus pounds that I put on in 3 weeks.
Plus the 10 pounds today.
Plus the 10 pounds for the Krispy donuts today, yes. Absolutely.
So, awesome. Mariah, what's up with you?
Went and bathed your stinky dog on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Which he was a chore.
He needed that.
He needed it badly.
Was he stinky?
Oh, he was bad.
Yeah, he needed it.
Other than that, I haven't been doing a whole lot besides working and having kind of quiet evenings and everything, which is kind of nice sometimes. So.
Sometimes.
Yep. What about high tech?
I text trying to figure out where that buzzing's coming
Yeah,
from.
yeah. There's a
That's quite
buzzing for
interesting.
some reason. Anyway,
Not I.
huh?
Not I.
Oh, well, that's good.
Not ice as me.
So yeah, no, all is good. Just actually had a week in the office this week, and got a chance to get caught up a little bit and kind of plan for some upcoming trips and all that. But yeah, other than that, we just been spending lots of time getting ready for G4S and getting all those pretty parts that John showed us last week. Got those kind of mocked out and all that, which we'll talk about later. And so yeah, has a busy day yesterday with the crew. So it was good. It was good to all be together in one place. That's for sure.
Finally, for one.
Right.
Not gonna lie.
Although I will say that the music talent last night.
Yeah.
There's only one that was worth a damn.
Two. There was two.
There was two?
You missed
Was
the
that,
yodeler.
Sade.
No,
Sade.
well, her. But then there was Angel, and she was yodeling.
Oh yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, and
I must have been outside for that one.
yeah, you must have been. But it was good. Like she had a good
Okay,
voice.
so there
and
were
all
three that were
Nice.
worth a damn last night.
Who's the third one?
Really? My rendition, David Allen Coe?
Like I said,
Didn't
who was
do-
the third one?
Oh, you dog. You dog.
Making you pimp yourself out on live.
Hey, somebody has to, by God. No one else is going to do it. Shit.
Dude, I love listening to you do the David Allen Co. And I gotta say, my disappointment though is in the Beaver Creek Saloon audience though, because not many people remember or know
The
even
added lyrics.
lyrics to some of those songs anymore. It's kind of disappointing.
You know, it's one of those use or lose kind of things. It's a perishable skill.
Oh yeah.
So, no, mine was all right. Or, Josh, you had anything else you wanted to add to your week before I rudely interrupted you?
Yeah, just go ahead. Just take it right away. That's fine.
So I said, before I rudely interrupted you, I'm being a gentleman and apologizing, and go ahead. Finish.
Go on.
Okay, so anyways, I'm done.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, no, it was definitely a crazy and hectic week. I will say one thing, though. I was finally able to complete the purchase for my AR build from up there at Eric's Armory.
Very nice.
Yes. Now I'm just waiting on a
yes.
few pieces to get Cerakoted and get those back and actually put it all together, and I cannot wait. Let's go. However, speaking of builds, that your Gucci that you got going on up there.
No, his is super Gucci.
Oh yeah, mine's Gucci. Yours is super Gucci, according to Eric.
My not SBR because ATF SBR laws are retarded.
Dude, that thing. I was like, look, it's a 300 blackout, only smaller. You.
It's a beast though.
It is, man. It's gonna be a cool build once that's all said and done. And there is one other cool thing that happened this week. You have yours. You got yours at TriggerCon last year.
Yeah, my watch.
Yes. And well, Josh has to get in on it though. But I am proud to. Some of you may be wondering why I'm twiddling this pen. Well, this badass pen right here, I got from our friends over there at SMB Watches, who is also an awesome contributor to Guitars for Stars this year. And on top of that, I'm also rocking my new Battlefield SMB
Absolutely.
from those guys. And they are proud to say that they're happy to be partnered up with us. And
For the event, absolutely.
Yep. And for other stuff coming on down the road, they're just like,
Absolutely.
yep, they're the official wristwear of Backwoods Veterans now.
Yeah, I am not wearing mine today though.
It's all good.
Unfortunately. I have been all last week. I love my watch actually. That thing gets worn all the time now. I just need to remember to make it worth it that I have my smartwatch, which what's the point in having it if I don't wear it and use it?
Very
So,
true. Mariah was just, she's looking at me, she's like, what the hell do you need with another watch? I was like, you don't understand it.
But
I
yeah,
was giving her shit about with the tack pin too. I was
Right.
like, if there's somebody that you're free to use this anytime you want, because if there's somebody that's annoying you, like Josh or somebody, you just come up and you take the end of that and you jab them right in the bottom
don't
rib
jab
with
me.
that thing. Not gonna jab you with it, but you get what I'm saying.
right.
And
No.
Mariah was just like, "That's a good idea. I like that."
Maybe not towards Josh, but some other people I would for sure. Just saying.
Hey, why you gotta talk about me like that?
Right.
Talking about you, you're the one that tries to deflate other things with your pen now.
What?
Yeah, you poked me.
Just
here.
because I poked you in the boob with it earlier.
Yeah.
doesn't mean-
It hurts.
All right, children.
Anyhow.
No, absolutely, dude. I'm glad that that's awesome that you got that watch. You guys, if you haven't got a chance to check out S&B watches, please do. Please go check them out. And like I said, or like Justin said, which this just happened, they are sending us a watch for the event to raffle off at G4S, and they are a proud contributor to the event for sure. Kind of been working on that relationship since last July, so
Yeah.
it's a good one to have. So we're gonna look forward to more good things to come with them in the future, hopefully. But yeah,
Absolutely. So other than that, yeah, doing that, and then went up to Eric's again, worked on the G4S build that we got going on up there. Like I said, which you're going to be going over, I'm sure, during the outdoor segment. And Josh, it looks like we got a bunch of people jumping in the comment section up here on the board. What do we got?
That we do. First off, we've got Miss Katrina Stanley. Hi.
Yeah. Who's
Sitting to
joining
my
us?
left. We got Mr. Richie King, Asayo, brother. We got Carl Loomis checking in.
Carl.
That was a good time on Friday night.
Oh,
I
my
had to say,
God.
Friday night debauchery. We had Carl and J-Dub and myself all on there, and yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah, you talk about the OG show for BB Nation, just add freaking music into it. That was Friday Night Debauchery. It was a fucking blast. Yes, I dropped it. I don't care. I'm over it.
oh wait, we have a new buzzer.
Yes, we do have a new buzzer.
Oh wait, what are we doing?
So Josh has been finally got his wish and has Dapper Sapper sound bites now.
Jeez.
He's got a whole lot of them in there now.
Bibbidi bop, bibbidi bop bop, bibbidi bop, shibbidi boo 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 boo.
I hear that one. The only one thing I can think of is that video with the freaking German chick strapped to the other dude naked as a jaybird, freaking skydiving.
So continuing on down the list, we have Miss Accident Prone. She's now self-titling her there. Firefall, Waterfall. They pick a
Which-
falling name.
By the way,
Accidental fall.
answer
OSHA
whoever you want to
incident.
go by. TMI when you're in the shower.
Well, that depends
What are
on
you-
for who.
She's listening to us in the
She's
shower. That's
listening to us in the
badass.
shower.
Oh, well, I'm not that far down yet.
Yo.
So we've got Miss Kelly Dakota checking in from Southern Oregon.
Yep, down
6.5
there, Roseburg
weeks to
area.
go.
We got let's see, Jesse's checking in.
Hi,
over
Jesse.
from TFO and Eric's Armory. And Miss Inga, the taco maker, has stopped by for a moment to say hi as well. And Jesse also says no yawning, Mariah.
Yeah.
So yep.
Nah.
Yeah, and by the way, Kelly was, I'm going to say whining because nobody was acknowledging her. So
$5 fine, $3.50 surcharge.
Pretty much, yeah. Same thing I've been finding her since she was born.
$5.
But I did tell her we'd probably jab you with your pen there
No,
since you weren't acknowledging her.
no jab.
No job.
No jab.
Hey, J-Dub, can I see your pen?
No, no jab for you.
Well, at least John's in the middle.
Mariah, do it.
Wait, I
Do it. Yeah.
Oh, you missed, John. We literally talked about this before.
I'll accept the challenge.
Oh man, fun times as always.
Of my co-hosts. Actually,
Especially when their heads are in your lap.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
actually, it didn't hurt as bad as I thought it was going to. So
Well, it hurt my back, so it's okay. Yeah,
Aw.
we're the-
Aw.
Kelly
John-
says a little over a month left.
John and I are the bum ones right now. So JW, you're the one that's not hurting yet.
As
Yet.
bad or
Or as bad.
Yeah.
That was the other thing I did this
bod
week.
kicking
is-
in, man. I'm telling you. It's
I
like
understand
dad
that
bod, but
one.
with a lot more knee pain.
I understand that one for sure.
What? Why do you hit? Never mind. I don't want to know about your knee pain.
Oh,
No. Don't
Bro.
tell me. Don't tell me. Good.
If you're a
all I can think
civilian
about-
and you have to ask that question, bro, you're chiming in at the wrong audience. So I'm talking about vet bod. Just saying.
Endless BJs. Infinite BJs. You know how you fix this? Super glue.
Super glue?
Super glue.
I don't even want to know how. Yeah. Anyhow.
Infinite BJs.
It didn't as hurt as bad as I thought it was going to. Spoken like the middleman every time.
Oh, yep.
I
Good
can't.
call, Jesse. Good call.
I can't argue that one. I'm not even gonna try.
Anyhow, as a man once said, we are.
Moving right along.
That's right. So we're going to go ahead and move right on along into our next segment. Known as the outdoors. John. This outdoor segment is brought to you in part by Eric's Armory. And now for your outdoor segment host.
How neat is that? That's pretty neat.
Oh man, yes, it is indeed pretty neat. What is up, guys? I am your outdoor host, John. Here in studio this month, week, whatever you want to call it. Something. How much beer have I had today? Where am I?
Yeah.
Right now.
Right.
Anyways.
So you want me to
Yes.
answer that?
So, got a couple exciting things to go over this week. First and foremost being, if you haven't checked out our awesome sponsor of Eric's Armory, please go check them out at ericsarmory.com or on Instagram or Facebook at Eric's Armory. Yes, I heard my sound clip. But, see, I've been doing this for a while now, and I know how to tune
Tech
this
is
the
over.
hell out. So,
High tech is over here dying.
So
guys
that's the perks of not being on camera. Yatch.
right?
He doesn't have to hold it together.
That's very true. So, if you haven't got a chance to check them out yet, please go check them out. They are awesome. We spent Saturday evening with Eric down at the shop to check out the parts that came in from Air Precision and Sig Sauer, which is up on the screen in front of you. We mocked it up so that we could get some photos of it for the show today. So that is that's the build this year. So
Yes.
it's almost complete. We're getting close to completion, and actually there's more to come on that at a later date and time. If you want to get up close and personal to this rifle in the not too distant future, it will be at the Central Oregon Sportsman Show. Josh, when is the Central Oregon Sportsman Show?
That is going to be on March 12th through the 15th.
Yep.
They're in Redmond, Oregon at the Deschutes County Fairgrounds.
There
Absolutely.
you go.
Swing on by the TFO booth, and you can come see some of us and the TFO guys and this beautiful beast that you see on the screen in front of you. Next picture, Josh, if you would, please.
Now, hold on, just to be clear. When you said beautiful beast, you meant the gun, right?
I meant me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. I was looking at the gun. Sorry.
Yes, the rifle. Gun is in my pants.
Oh,
Rifle is on
Lord.
the
Here we
floor.
go. Here we go.
Just saying. Anyways, so this is a little bit, and we had another donor contribute the furniture for it, which is matched in OD green. I couldn't be happier with how that color scheme ended up matching out to the camouflage pattern on that rifle. Aero Precision really came through for us, and they sent us a test coat that hasn't been released before. So that Cerakote that's on there is a one-of-a-kind Cerakote. You're not going to find a
Literally.
rifle with that camouflage from Aero Precision anywhere else. So that's, and then Sig Sauer donated the optic. BB Nation has donated the bolt carrier group, and Eric's Armory has donated the Burris scope mount, the quick release scope mount that's on that rifle. So that scope is probably one of the more clear scopes that I've had the pleasure of viewing through
Yeah.
so far.
Yeah.
Sig Sauer, like, they know their optics, they know their weapons. Like, I'm stunned and blown away that they contributed that. You guys, you don't want to miss out on trying to win this rifle. And by the way, last year you had to be present to win it. Not so much this year. And so when we start the ticket sale process for this, you can buy. There will be online sales. There will be all kinds of sales for this thing. So you don't have to be present to win it, but you gotta donate and you gotta spend a little money to win it.
So Jesse just threw up onto the page here in the chat.
It's not
He
me
said,
this time.
Stay tuned to the Backwoods Facebook page. There may be free tickets given away to come visit the TFO booth
Ooh,
for
there we
the
go.
sportsman show
Ooh.
there.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Very nice.
Yes,
I'll
very
talk to
nice,
Jesse
very
about that one.
nice.
Yes, very nice. But yeah, guys. So I highly encourage you. Like, I'm not going to tell you where to spend your money, how to spend your money. You should spend $15 on this ticket. By way of example, last year the gal that won the RCF rifle put 2 tickets in.
Yep.
And
Spent a total of $30.
Spent a total of $30. She
Or
walked away.
35.
35. Yeah. She.
Yeah, $5 to get in.
Oh yeah. So, but she spent a total of $35 and won a $1,200 rifle. Versus I probably spent $180, almost $200 worth in tickets. There's other people that spent much more than that on that rifle for tickets. And the gal that put 2 tickets in close to the end of the night is the one who won the rifle.
I think there was 15 minutes left before the deadline.
So that just goes to show you, like,
Well, just look at the at the Warrior Fest, right?
Right.
And I had 39 entries.
Yeah,
or something like
39
that
was the
into
magic
that
number,
deal.
apparently.
And there's people with hundreds and
I had
hundreds of
a
entries.
couple hundred. Annie.
well, Annie.
So I mean, it can happen if you've got a few. It can happen if you've got several. It's it's all taking that chance. So
And
but
I mean,
it's a damn nice rifle.
Oh,
I will
dude.
tell you.
and we haven't even finished building it yet. It'll
no.
be finished here soon.
That's right.
It'll be finished here real soon, and you guys, like I said, you don't want to miss out on an opportunity to miss this rifle. Like, I'm going to be putting in some money on this rifle.
Yes. Can confirm.
On my own. It's going to be an amazing build, and if you're not aware of what caliber it is, if I hadn't said it enough, it is a 308. It is not a 5.56. So this is a bigger build. It's a bigger rifle. Yeah, you guys come see us at the Sportsman Show and come check it out. Come check us out. Check TFO out while you're there too. They are who we're going to be supporting this year. So come say hi to us at the minimum.
Exactly.
And at the maximum, buy some tickets.
Right. And
What's
the funny
it
thing
gonna
is,
hurt? It's all going to a great cause.
and the cool thing about this is that this is the caliber that, because we put a pull up on the event page for Guitars for Stars, and unanimous. I mean, it was overwhelming as far as we asked our viewers and our fan base as far as what caliber they wanted to see us raffle off this year and have the chance to win. You know, we put up a 5.56, we put up 6.5 Creedmoor, 6.8 Grendel, and then we also put up the 308. Said, okay, what's it going to be? And this one, the 308, just blew it out of the ballpark as far as how many people voted on it. And I'll be honest with you guys, it was a little sketch whether or not we were actually going to be able to do it. But the fact that, thanks to our good co-host John here, as well as the awesome folks over at Aero Precision, they came through. They came through on it, and we were able to provide with what you guys wanted to see. So, with that being said,
Absolutely. Yeah, like I said, Aero Precision donated the build set for it. 6 Hour, which is the one that is more blew me away than anything, donated the optic, and our official. I mean, both of them are official sponsors of the event, and I'm truly humbled and blown away by that. But you guys don't want to miss out on this rifle. It's going to be a one-of-a-kind rifle for us to raffle off, and I'm looking forward to getting the build done and getting this thing out on the range and
that's going to be a fun day.
raffle it off. So hopefully my build will be done by the time we get it on the. Actually, probably not. If
I know
certain
mine will.
If certain things are going to be happening in the not too distant future.
Right? So, by the way, Jesse says, if I don't win the rifle at G4S, I'm going to stop drinking beer.
Somehow I don't. I think
I
you're
see-
lying
I
about
see
that
it in
one.
writing, Jesse. Do we need to document that?
Yeah, right? Oh, no. The thing is that it's on there. It's not
It's
going
there. It
away.
ain't going anywhere. It might as well be written in blood.
Might as well.
So, what is going on?
I have
in
no idea what
high-tech
type of
land?
shenanigans they
He's
got
trying to
going
get
on over there.
something going and working. And
They're tinkering.
Tinkering.
Josh is always tinkering.
Yes, but yeah, you guys, seriously, I could talk all day about this weapon, but I'm not going to, because there's more.
You have other stuff you got to
There's
get
other
to.
stuff that I got to get to. And
Whoa,
holy
what the
crap,
hell?
I just lost audio in my left ear, for the most part.
Josh is playing with audio equipment. Yeah, mine just went away too, my left ear. So, all right. While Josh is working on that,
Yeah.
we're going to keep going.
So we're gonna get into the outdoor stories for today. If I can focus on it,
tone it out.
goodness me.
I mean, I might start again, but the next day. But for that night, I'm done.
I'm
talking about Jesse.
Lost
Yeah.
almost all audio in my.
Okay. Anyhow, go
Anyways, continuing on. So getting into some of our outdoor news, we got a hunting story on deck this week and a backpacking story on deck that kind of tails into an outdoor safety brief. Not a silly one, a legitimate one on this one. But anyway, so that's really loud.
Wow.
Anyways, so first story reads Iowa deer. Wow. Okay. Now my computer decided to change pages on me.
High tech is breaking stuff.
Apparently,
He's
we're gonna
breaking a
have
network,
it's technical
he's-
difficulty somewhere.
Yeah. Picked a hell of it. Wow.
So
Keep going.
Your mic still works.
I'm
Has
no
nothing to
worries.
do with the.
No, we're laughing at the fact that you're scrambling over there and it was just waiting for that thing, all the headphones to get unplugged and you throw that thing out the window. That's what we're waiting on.
it's all good. Okay, so first article reads Iowa deer kill numbers take a tumble, which is kind of confusing when you hear the numbers in this. It's kind of insane. Hunters reported harvesting nearly 94,000 deer during Iowa's 2019-2020 hunting season, which is a decline from 2018 to 2019. How do they have any deer left in that state? Like 2018, 2019, they reported 108,000 deer taken.
Dude, whitetail out there, they're like freaking
It must be like rabbits and
German
rats.
Yeah, right?
Like, that's insane. 108,000 deer in Iowa. This is a small state, too.
But you have to remember their deer population is also greater than what we have here, and
And they're more rural.
they're
There's a lot of
That's
corn.
very true.
And they eat-
A lot of corn.
A lot of corn.
Anyways, wildlife experts say while there are a number of factors that likely contributed to the decline, most prominent is the outbreak of a hemorrhagic disease that killed thousands of deer across the state. It was yes, Charlie Sheen does have AIDS. All right then.
My Lord Almighty.
Anyways, the most prominent is the outbreak of a hemorrhagic disease that killed thousands of deer across the state. It was the second largest outbreak of hemorrhagic disease in Iowa, behind the 2012-2013 outbreak, and the reduced harvest is consistent with that following the 2013 outbreak. Tyler Harms, wildlife biologist with Iowa DNR, said that the department's best population survey tool is the bow hunter observation survey, where bow hunters record the number of deer and other wildlife species they observed each day in their tree stand. The survey conducted from October 1st through the opening of first shotgun season. The lower harvest corresponds with fewer deer bow hunters reported in the survey, while the impact from hemorrhagic disease, it may have contributed to some of that decline. Our hunters are also conservationists, and they perceive a drop in the deer population. They will make a decision on whether or not to kill more deer. This year, many of them decided not to, Harm said. The Iowa DNR manages the deer herd to support a harvest of 100,000 to 120,000 deer that was based on recommendations from legislatively mandated deer advisory committee. Our deer population has rebounded after the hemorrhagic outbreaks in the past, and we expect the same will be true of this outbreak, Harm said. We manage the population for the long term and the impacts from this year, while significant, are likely a short blip in the horizon. End of article.
Still a lot of damn deer.
That's a lot of.
It is a lot.
Their average is 120,000 a year.
Welcome to the Midwest.
Dude, those deer hump like rabbits, apparently.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Panic
like
mode,
humping.
panic mode.
The deer are also smaller back there as well.
Freaking
So-
German shepherds.
Yeah.
German shepherds.
And Jesse just threw up a number: 34,000 harvested in Oregon in 2018.
Yeah, that's a huge difference between us and Iowa.
Yeah, huge difference.
But don't they have like a like a bag limit of a couple a year or something like that back there too?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
They're something ridiculous, but
It's
it
like
would have to be
2 or
with
3.
120,000 is an average and 94,000 is a low count for the year.
Well, shit.
Otherwise, that's a lot of gun-toting Americans.
Right. Well,
America.
it's funny because take a look at the states like Oklahoma as a prime example. I actually got
Right.
an invite to go down there with a bell buddy of mine from that I was overseas with in 2003. He's just like, yeah, dude, standard down here is you get 6 tags. You get 1 buck tag and 5 doe tags.
That's insane.
I was like, what? It's like, yeah, dude, that's normal.
Right.
That's just over the counter.
That is cray on the
But
memory.
you also got to figure, the deer back there, whitetail back there, they're a lot smaller
Hey, careful.
in Oklahoma than what they are out here compared to like a muley over in central eastern Oregon.
Careful, urban legend might dispute that with you.
The urban legends.
The urban legends.
Yeah, urban legends say that wolves are actually kind of like coyotes, and they don't always attack animals. So
Right?
anyhow,
But shit, oh my god.
but like I said though, it's a way smaller animal, and they have a higher
Oh,
population
absolutely.
count, so they're able to do that, and it's crazy because it doesn't make a dent in the population. It's like a story that you covered here a few weeks ago
Right.
with that the Idaho college student.
Yep.
That was working with Idaho Fish and Game with the whole elk damage study.
Absolutely. Yep.
So, and it didn't even make a dent in, what was it? He took 206 elk and didn't even make a
I think it was
1%.
like 300 or something. Yeah,
Didn't even make a 1% dent in the population. So,
that's elk, and that's insane too.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
a lot of elk.
Yeah, but,
God damn.
Idaho's one of those states like Montana.
Oh yeah.
Montana, Wyoming, those higher Rocky Mountain states that have a
Nantucket.
very high elk population. So, but that's just my 2 cents on that
No,
one.
I agree. Anybody else? Infinite. Anybody else?
Infinite deer.
Infinite deer.
Infinite whitetail.
Waiting for Josh because he's gonna do it. So he does the whistle. Okay, so moving on to the next story. Okay, so switching gears. So we're switching gears since the weather's starting to get nice, and I've been given the go-ahead to actually go backpacking this summer. I'm really excited about it because I didn't get to do any of it last year. Aspiring through hiker's body found on the Appalachian Trail Approach Trail. A North Carolina man's hike was cut tragically short on the way to the Appalachian Trail southern terminus this week. It's kind of sad. But this goes to show, like, you should have a safety brief before you go.
Here we go.
Before you go into the backwoods. Anyways, so this comes to us from backpacker.com. Eddie, actually, I'm just going to leave it at Eddie, set out on a northbound through hike attempt on the Appalachian Trail on Friday, but he never made it to Springer Mountain, which is one of the first stops from the southern terminus. Search teams from Dawson County Sheriff's Office recovered his body on Wednesday afternoon, just a mile off the approach trail to the Appalachian Trail.
I bet I know why though. It's because it's probably fed by Dawson's Creek.
Oh my god. Moving right along. Oh.
God, him, James Vanderbeek.
It's dark, man. It's dark. Anyways, Dawson County Fire and Emergency Services posted on their Facebook page on Friday. Eddie began the through hike on the Appalachian Trail on Friday. He has since become disorientated and may be suffering from a medical emergency. It is believed that he is on or near the AT Approach Trail somewhere in Dawson County. However, it is also possible that he has wandered off the trail and surrounding national forest or park property. On Wednesday, the group posted that over 130 emergency personnel participated in the search along with the civilian volunteers. According to the Gainesville Times, a friend of Eddie called 911 on Sunday expressing concern that for the hiker's health. Shortly after, Eddie himself called 911 and sounded confused, said Dawson County Fire Chief Danny Thompson in a press conference on Wednesday. While Eddie did not have any known medical issues, he had a family history of dementia. Probably not the best condition to go on a through hike of one of the longest trails in the country.
How about no?
He probably forgot how long it was.
Right. Thompson said
That's what she said.
that in a press conference on Tuesday. Authorities initiated a search for the hiker on Sunday. Authorities located some of his belongings on Monday afternoon near the Lenfoot Hike Inn, a backcountry lodge located just 5 miles from Springer Mountain. The search was put on hold Tuesday afternoon due to lightning. According to a Facebook post, weather in the area dipped below freezing at night throughout the week. The approach trail to the southern terminus of the Appalachian Trail is an 8.5-mile path that begins at Amicalola Fall State Park. The U.S. Forest Service description of the trail states that it features several difficult climbs. Eddie would have been one of the first northbound through hikers to begin their journey this season. Most begin mid to late March. Roughly a quarter through hikers who set out from Springer Mountain make it all the way to Maine. End of article. So this goes to something with backcountry recreating that I'm a firm believer in, which is if you're going to go into the backcountry, meaning you're more than an hour away from any kind of definitive care or any kind of creature comforts or civilization, you should be setting a check-in and check-out time with either a family member or a close friend or relative. It's a pretty standard process, and obviously, if you have dementia, don't go on a through hike of the AT Trail.
No.
It's probably not the greatest idea. I'm just gonna throw that out there, but at the same time, you may not know what you're considering on
Or
anyways.
any health issues at that point.
Or any health issues. Yeah, if you're not, that's not something to be taken lightly. A through hike on either for us in the western half of the country, the PCT is definitely not a hike, even if you're in good physical condition, to be taken lightly. Versus the AT Trail, it is much the same. But yeah, I mean, if you're going into the backcountry, set it, check in with people, set check-in times, set check-out times. Like every time I go up into the Cascades, I usually call my dad and say, hey, I'm leaving my truck at this trailhead. I'm going to leave at this time and expect to hear from me by this time. If you don't hear from me, wait an hour. And if you still haven't heard from me, call search and rescue, because that means I've taken a fall or something not according to plan has happened. It's just it's a smart way of doing things. Aaron Ralston, one of the more famous people that got stuck in a situation where he didn't have a check-in check-out time with a family member or friend. He's the dude that cut his own arm off in Blue John Canyon because he got pinched by a chalk stone that fell on his that pinned his wrist to the wall, and he ended up cutting his own arm off because nobody knew where he was.
Sorry, I was just reading the comments. Jesse, if you have dementia, wouldn't a stroll through the backyard be a new experience every time?
Could be. Could
That's
possibly
so
be.
bad. That is so
So-
bad.
So in a kind of, we'll call it parallel story, talking about, search and rescue workers looking for this guy and all that. You did hear about the Clackamas County here, the county we're in, and
Yeah.
from
Right.
Mount Hood. They are dismantling the search and rescue teams from up on the mountain, all the volunteer teams that go up there.
Yeah, they're being brought in under the Clackamas County Sheriff's new search and rescue team.
Yeah, and that could be both a good thing. I've worked with some of the volunteer teams, like the Crag Rats, when I was working in the scenic area.
Yep.
They're
Mountain
fantastic.
Wave is another good one too.
They're a fantastic team. Time will tell to see how well that's going to work with it all being under one banner. The nice thing about the system that they had before with having the different mountain rescue teams stationed around Mount Hood, they weren't just all out of one location. I suspect that this is going to increase launch times for the different reach and treat teams, because there aren't going to be any different reach and treat teams anymore. It's just going to be one. I would hope that they keep the Crag Rats on their own separate entity, because they're actually off of Highway 35 on the Hood River side of things.
Right.
And usually the Crag Rats can get to people a lot quicker than Clackamas County can. Like I said, I've worked with those guys quite a few times over the past. Last time I worked with them, we worked with Multnomah County, Clackamas County, and the Crag Rats at Multnomah Falls. We were doing a cooperative training exercise, and our hand crew ended up being the rope team because we found a suicide victim that had been missing since January, and this was in June, and we got the lucky job of helping Multnomah County Falls extract this dude out of the lower basin of Multnomah Falls. Kind of a grisly task by far, but yeah, we'll see how that works out for them. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but I suspect that reaction times to missing hikers and climbers is going to go up exponentially for that, and I don't know that it's necessarily going to be a good thing or have good outcomes to it.
Well, yeah, I definitely find it interesting that, Sheriff Roberts, Craig Roberts here in this county, I usually agree with most of the things that he does. I just don't know exactly why, when essentially Clackamas County was already managing those teams were
Right.
training with them, doing all that. They have rescue cards or whatever that are issued to them to be part of these teams, or to be part of the the emergency response and all of that.
Right.
I just don't know why they would want to reduce the amount of people that they have available to them.
I don't think
from
they're
over
nec-
200
Right.
down to less than half of that.
Right, and it boils down to this is why, especially in ski areas, if you disobey the ski laws and go out of bounds in off-piste terrain where you're not supposed to be, and you have to get rescued, and you live through it, absolutely, you're an idiot, and you should pay the rescue fees, because not only did you put yourself in danger, you put the rescuers in danger, and being stupid should cost.
Confirmed.
However, and I suspect that's why part of the reason for this is they're shrinking costs for it, but I suspect that it's gonna have a different cost and a greater cost in the long run. Like I said, it's gonna increase wait times and search times for especially critical incidents. When you have a missing climber up off of timberline, that's not something you can pussyfoot around with. If you're injured above 6,000 feet, any injury, a broken finger above 6,000 feet, anything that makes it difficult for you to get down is life-threatening at that point. And the nice thing about having those teams is you had multiple teams that could react versus now it's going to be a team coming from Clackamas that's...
So apparently this whole thing, by the way, is modeled after Deschutes County.
Deschutes County is different though, because Bend is right at the base of the mountains that people recreate in. And I'm not gonna say that that Bend is perfect by any means. I would say that they're far from it as far as. I don't live in Deschutes County. I live in Kirk County. I live in
See, there you go. That's why. So it must be a lot like how we talk about Washington County and Multnomah County.
Right, but you can't go wrong with having more options, And honestly, no offense to the professionals in Clackamas County Search and Rescue, but the Crag Rats, in my opinion, Mount Hood Mountain Rescue Team, they're superior, because that's all they do. That's their sole mission in life is mountain rescue, and now you're taking that element away essentially and getting rid of it. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with that, and it would be interesting to see what people from those organizations would have to say from that.
Right.
I would actually love to hear from some of those people.
And Jesse said in the comments here, he said, I'm not sure the rats will be affected. The way I understood the article is mainly affecting Clackamas County groups and the way they were getting funds.
Well, it's
But-
not just in the way of funds; it's the command and control of it too. Is because
I was going to say they won't be authorized anymore to
exactly,
do
and
that.
that's the thing is all it is just for in Clackamas County,
Right.
because it's like you're talking about the Craig rats, and it's
Right.
not just them, but it's groups like Mountain Wave, and it's like the group I was involved with for a while too when I was doing search and recovery was Roughneck Search and Recovery. I was working with those guys, and it was the same thing. Is that all our stuff had to be coordinated through Clackamas County, and if anything after that was strictly all volunteer. But now it's gotten to the point to where Sheriff Roberts has put out that all that stuff is no more. The volunteer stuff is like, okay, that's all fine and dandy, but all those efforts are going to be coordinated and handled by Clackamas County Sheriff's Office. They want to be the sole crew that's running it, and anything outside of that is a
Right.
no-go.
Well, and so the thing that I find interesting is because most of the rescues are going to occur on the Timberline Mount Hood Meadow side of things, which is Clackamas County.
Correct.
The interesting thing that I find is if the Forest Service will step in at some point. I guarantee it, because yes, it's Clackamas County. It's not county land. Mount Hood doesn't belong to the county. It belongs to the federal government. It's U.S. Forest Service land, and eventually, if the statistics of dead climbers and recreators start going up, the Forest Service will step in at some point and go, this isn't working, period.
Yeah. Well,
Why?
It is the sheriff's responsibility of the county that it's in. So
Correct.
just like, if there's, any, crimes or other incidents that happen. So
No, I agree with
for
that.
example, up in Mount Hood Meadows, that's Hood River. It's all
Right.
Hood River County.
Well,
so
yeah, that's Hood River County, but
yeah. So if something happens up there, it actually goes through, Hood River County Sheriffs and all
Correct.
that. So
right. But for climbers that are going up Timberline, that's just for people, for myself included, make sure you know your weather windows, and if you even think that you're remotely going to need to get rescued, plan ahead for it. If you're taking on, say, a route like Yoakum Ridge, something that is highly technical, just be prepared that if something goes sideways on you, you may be waiting for a while in the future. So, but with that, we're going down the rabbit hole on that, and kind of off. Well, it wasn't really off article, but a little bit. With that, you guys go check out Eric's Armory at ericsarmory.com, our awesome sponsors. Hit them up. Go check us out while we're at the Sportsman Show coming up, and this awesome build that we're going to have. Buy some tickets while you're at it, and talk to the guys at TFO. They are a great organization, you guys, especially if you're a veteran. Hit them up. They will get you in the outdoors. They will take you on trips. Just hit them up. I'm sure if you need any further information, Jesse in the comments would be happy to speak with you, or any of us for that matter.
Absolutely.
So with that, I will say that wraps it up for the outdoor segment.
All right. Well, that being said, what was that? I don't know. Anyhow, all right. So we're going to go ahead and move things right on along. Our next segment, known as Pop Takes. Hit it, good sir. We hope you brought the aloe and sunscreen.
Bullshit.
Because these takes are scorching hot. Now, get ready for some raw,
You went raw?
gritty, and unfiltered takes from the old man, Don himself.
She can't see the truth because it does makes her look like an idiot. Because that's what she is.
These are Pop's Takes, right here on BB Nation Radio.
Bullshit.
All right, old man, what is going on?
Oh, there's a whole lot going on today, I tell you. Well, not this afternoon, but there has been this week with the Democratic Party and everything. It's been so. It's getting to be a shame. It's a shame of the Democrats that they have to decide between a dictator like Sanders. He wants to model it after Cuba, and Joe Biden, who's working with dementia.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, and that's their choices that they're making. And it's sad to see.
So what you're saying, you're calling out already right out the gate that Warren or Bloomberg or any of the other candidates right now from the Democratic field, you're saying they ain't got a chance between Biden and Sanders at this point.
Not right now, the way it's looking. I mean, when they've had that big primary, you know, and then we're going into Super Tuesday, that'll really tell the story here in a couple of days.
Yeah, because they just had South Carolina here this last week too.
Right.
And South Carolina was a big one on the primary trail for these guys.
Yeah, and look what Biden did there.
Yeah, he wound up coming out the winner on that one, surprisingly enough.
About twice what anybody else had, including Sanders.
Yeah, exactly. So he came out of that with what?
50 votes or 51 delegates, something
like that. Yeah. Okay, so we have this article right here. We kind of talked about this before we started. Article reads, Sanders calls himself, by the way, this is from The Hill, Sanders calls himself an existential threat to the corporate wing of the Democratic Party. Now, we went over this article before. Let me get your thoughts on it.
I've got one thought.
Go ahead.
He's not just a threat to the Democrats. He's a threat to the United States government, or to our Constitution, the way it's written. He wants to make this another Cuba. Exactly what he says. He wants to be a dictator and run the whole country himself.
So he's looking for the bigger government side of things, where government is pretty much running everything.
He wants all government to run everything, and he wants to be in control of that government. He don't care about the individuals or anything else. You know, our country was built on individual liberty. And yes, the majority rules, but you also have to remember that each individual has their own rights. And he don't want them to have any rights, not unless he says so.
Right. Okay, so I have a soundbite for you here. This is actually an interview done with Bernie Sanders on ABC's This Week. So I want you to go ahead and listen to it and then tell me what you think afterwards.
You've also called yourself an existential threat to the Democratic establishment. I guess that includes House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Democrats in the House and the Senate. Don't you need their support to win in November? One of the big pitches that Vice President Biden was just making is that he can help make sure the Democrats hold on to the House, take back the Senate, and that you're going to be a burden for House Democrats and Democratic Senate candidates come November.
That's absolutely untrue. You know, the corporate wing of the Democratic Party, a group called Third Way, attacked me, and they said I'm an existential threat to the Democratic Party. And what I said is, yeah, I'm an existential threat to the corporate wing of the Democratic Party. For too long, the Democratic Party and leaders have been going to rich people's homes, raising money, and they've ignored the working class and the middle class and low-income people in this country. That has got to change. We've got to open the doors of the Democratic Party to millions and millions of people who are trying to get by on $12, $13 an hour, who can't afford health care, can't afford child care, who can't afford to send their kids to college. Those are the people we have to start paying attention to. I've known Nancy Pelosi for a very long time. I'm part of the Democratic leadership of the United States Senate with Chuck Schumer. It is my view that every Democratic candidate for president, no matter who wins this nominating process, clearly I hope it's me, we're going to come together because we all understand that Donald Trump is the greatest threat to this country in the modern history of this country, that he's a fraud.